Welcome back to our 3-week motorbike trip. If you've seen the last episode, you know it wasn't the smooth start we hoped for. 2 ADAC pickups, a lot of waiting around garages, and more breakdowns than actual kilometers covered. But finally on day 3 in Erlangen, the problem was fully diagnosed. A broken wire, a boiled battery, a fried rectifier, and even some cooling issues. Basically, the whole bike needed a spa day. Day 3 found us back at Motorradfabrik. The bike's finally ready, looking fresh, and we're ready to get back on the road.
Alright, let's go!
Finally, huh?
The catch? By the time we rolled out, it was already 4 p.m. and we had 770 kilometers ahead of us. The ride itself? Well, there isn't much footage. Picture freezing cold air, endless road, a few snack stops to stay alive, and us asking ourselves repeatedly, why didn't we just take the car? We finally made it to Rijeka at 2 a.m., completely exhausted but so happy to have left our German misadventures in the rearview mirror. The next morning, we didn't stick around. We left Rijeka behind and headed down the Croatian coast towards Vodice. And wow, the ride was just unreal. Small coastal roads, turquoise water on one side, rocky hills on the other, just stunning. We then stopped for supplies at a supermarket and later pulled over by the sea for lunch. We rode on and by late afternoon we reached our Airbnb in Vodice, where our hosts welcomed us with homemade limoncello, slivovica and even fig jam. After days of stress and roadside drama, this felt like heaven, so we spent the evening just enjoying that. Next morning was the first time we actually slowed down. Breakfast on our balcony with countryside views, that fig jam on bread, sunshine, it finally felt like the trip we had imagined. Luke gave the bike some TLC, checking the chain, making sure everything was solid, while I sat in the garden with a book pretending to be productive. After a relaxed start in Vodice, we set off for Zadar. The ride there was gorgeous, rolling countryside, bright skies, and that clear Croatian coastline just teasing us from the distance.
Low-tech rod and traffic kinkage. Let's do that.
Zadar itself was stunning. We wandered around, took in the views, and eventually stopped for lunch. Nothing fancy, just some good cevapi and grilled fish, but it felt like the perfect way to properly start enjoying Croatia. On the way back, we couldn't resist, so we stopped at one of the beaches we'd spotted earlier. Instead of heading straight home, we rode on to Sibenik, which our host recommended, and what a surprise it turned out to be. The city is built in layers, stacked almost like steps climbing up the hillside. We walked around the narrow alleys, stone staircases, and winding streets until we reached the fortress at the very top. We bought a ticket, explored the walls, and admired the views, rooftops below us, and islands scattered out across the horizon.
Oh, this is nice. I bet this is a super cozy garden.
Golden hour began just as we left the city. Back on the bike, riding into the sunset, warm light spilling across the road, shirt flapping in the wind. It was pure freedom. Back at our apartment, we ended the day with groceries we'd picked up earlier. 2 fresh doradas, a crisp salad, and plenty of local lemon squeeze on top. Nothing fancy, but fried fish, fresh veggies, and a bottle of wine made for the perfect dinner.
Okay, bye.
Leaving our Airbnb in Vodice, we said goodbye to our cheeky host cat, packed up the bike, and pointed ourselves south. Our first stop of the day was Split.
Tourist heaven, huh?
We parked up and wandered into the city, instantly wrapped in its labyrinth of narrow streets and Roman ruins. The gladiator vibes were everywhere, and despite the heat, it was amazing to explore.
Oh, look, there's another one over there. Oh my god.
Next stop, Dobrovnik, or at least that was the plan. But not long before the city, one of our coffer lids flew off on the highway. So we pulled into a motorbike shop on the outskirts, hoping for a fix, maybe even a replacement. But they only worked on scooters, so no luck for us. Without a lid to secure our luggage, we decided not to risk it and skipped entering the city itself. Instead, we admired King's Landing from above. Beautiful, but definitely on the list for the next time. We carried on toward the Montenegro border, past Croatian control, and thought that we were through. But a few kilometers later, we hit the real border. An endless line of cars, narrow winding roads, and plenty of honking. We waited, frustrated, and crept forward bit by bit until finally we crossed into Montenegro. Up next, Montenegro, Albania, and finally the ferry to Italy. Stick around and follow along for the ride in the next episode.